Hello, hello. Flip flop. Hi. It is so late. You're up, pink butterfly. What are y'all doing? Oh my god, more people are up. That's amazing. Ginger, Half Pint, Sky Maiden, off, Susie, Bucket, Cormy. Who else we got? E. De Sylvia. This. I'm so white. I'm sorry. What is that? Can you break it down for me so I know how to say your name, my dear? I'm sorry. Don Chin, Half Pint, Flip Flop, Chaos, Teresa, Pink Butterfly, Tara, Jess, Sabine. Am I saying that right? Um, R- Mama Shell, Julia, Happy April Fools, Lake Erie, Ginger Snap, Justin. How y- I don't know how you so well doing these lives. Keep up with chat, checking emails, texts. Thank you so much, Ginger. Well, I was actually cleaning, and I usually don't go to bed till about 3. It's 2:15 now, so I thought I would come on a little bit. Daily, why are you up, girl? Are you in Tennessee yet? Millie, Flip Flop, Tammy. Hello, hello. I said it right. I cannot believe that. Thank you. Martha, hello from the beautiful Pacific Northwest of Oregon. You know, Martha, I've been to the beautiful Pacific Northwest of Oregon. So right before our first son was born, we took a trip. We flew into Vegas, then we rented a car and we drove to LA. And then we went from Southern California, drove up the Pacific coast to Northern California, stayed some days up in Northern California, then went to Oregon, stayed some days in Oregon, then went to Washington and stayed some days in Washington. And then we drove up to Canada, up to Vancouver. Vancouver is one of my favorite cities in the world. Oh, I'm glad you came on. My daughter is in labor. Oh my God, she's in labor. It's taking forever for the baby to come. Oh, congratulations, Christina. That's amazing. Yeah, guys, please hit that like button. So I'm over 1,000 now, so I just need to get my watch hours up before I can monetize this channel. Pink Butterfly, did you see Seth was on Lab and Katie's parents live down? Yes. Yeah, I didn't get to watch Josh this evening. But I will play that hopefully in the morning when I'm doing something. Thank you, Millie. You're having trouble sleeping? I'm sorry. Did you make it to Tennessee yet, Daily? Let's see here. It is a beautiful trip. It was a beautiful trip. Had a great time. But that's when I was young and without kids. So it's been a while. Uh Dang, Justin, that's pretty good. I had to leave Colorado. Oh, why'd you leave Colorado? Colorado's beautiful. Oh, thank you, Gypsy. Genealogy Gypsy. I just call you Gypsy if that's okay. Thank you. We have some pretty cool people here. Yeah, it's she's having a grandbaby. This is a night to remember. The historic 101 scenic route is beautiful drive. Oh, you live in Salem. Nice, nice. Um, everyone was so friendly in Oregon, very friendly. I mean, you know, you it just depends. I've been almost everywhere in the United States, except for like Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota. Um, I've been pretty much everywhere. Why is your phone going bonkers? It's probably YouTube. It's probably YouTube, Sky Maiden. YouTube has just been it's been terrible. They need to do like an update or something because especially on my phone, I've heard people saying that like your even on their computer. I haven't had it on my computer, but like your chat will it just freezes and then you can't type or anything and it's so frustrating. Of course. Oh, yes, we do have an amazing group half pint. We sure do. Oh, she's having a boy? Kai? I love that name. I love that name. That's such a beautiful name. Uh, I'm it meant to say I have never been out of college. Oh, Sky Maiden, I got you, got you, got you. Um, you know, I grew up really poor and my grandmother raised me and my grandmother after my grandfather died, we didn't have a vehicle. And so I never got to leave the state uh until I was I think 17 or 18. Didn't get to leave the state and then after that that's all I did was travel. Yeah. Oregon is very beautiful. I think every place has its beauty, right? I mean, you can find beauty in anything. I love just everywhere I've been, really. I always say make Hollywood wherever you're at. Yes, they do to put in yeah, big updates, hopefully. I have like 17 aunts and uncles. We traveled all over the US to visit. That's awesome. That's awesome. Chat. Yeah, it acts up, Lake Erie. It's so annoying. It's the 5G thing. Oh my God. Speaking of well, it has nothing to do with 5G, but it reminded me. Have you guys ever heard of Havana syndrome? I'm thinking about talking about it. I spoke about it a little bit prior, um, a year ago or so. It's fascinating to me. They have been targeting our people in government, CIA, FBI, the higher ups, the creme de la creme, right? And they are using this microwave GUN, if you will, and it sends a beam of microwave waves. They send it into their house. And when they see someone like in front of a window, these people, and I'll get to that in a moment, they blast it at them and it causes them it's like something science fiction almost, but it's real. And the reason they call it Havana syndrome, it was first recognized, first um, reported when a CIA member was in Havana, Cuba. And that's how it got its name, Havana syndrome. It has nothing to do with Havana per se. Um, but 60 Minutes did a they've been doing a lab for the past or reports on it rather for the past 5 years. This has been going on for a good 10 years. And they have even these uh, adversaries, shall we say, have been doing this even to CIA, FBI, other government officials, family members, children, babies. and it's really bad. Thank you, genealogy. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Um, and that's really scary. Yes, it's like a sonic weapon, and we just, I mean, we kind of thought we they kind of thought that it was China, Russia, our biggest really adversaries. And I don't know, a year or so ago in and they showed the footage of this. Watch the 60 Minutes interview. I'm probably going to do a live about it and talk about it in great detail because I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating and horrible at the same time, right? It's just like insanity what's going on in the world right now. So in Key West, the police was trying to pull over this Mustang, and it was weaving in and out of traffic, and it gets up to like 100 and some miles per hour. This person did not want to be caught. So they ended up doing spikes to stop the car. Well, they did the spikes, it stopped the car. They got this guy out and threw him on the ground, cuffed him, everything. They search his car. There is all kinds of intelligence, and there is this GUN type weapon that I guess beams microwaves. And the FBI takes him in and, basically debriefs him to get information out of him. And they do this for several months. So they learn more. This guy is from Russia. Russia. He went back to Russia. Once you get caught as a foreign spy, what they do is you don't go back home. You usually don't, like, it's very rare for them to go back home because you're going to end up unalived. You're going to end up because, you know, you've told all their secrets and everything. So this dummy goes back to Russia. He goes back to Russia and they s- send him to Ukraine. Obviously, there's a war between Russia and Ukraine, and he dies. He is unalived. Yes, with the spy tea. With the spy tea. And he's unalived. Didn't listen. I think they think that he was sent there and he was purposely unalived, but he died in the war, and they don't believe that. But this is scary stuff that is going on in our country from foreign adversaries. Like, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, this should be alarming to everybody. Absolutely everybody. Um, oh, hold on. I don't have my phone right now. I don't think I'll make you guys blue in just a little bit. Before I end it, I'll grab my phone. That is interesting to have you watch the octopus myrrh. I don't know if you can put that word in chat. I love to know what you thought. If I don't know what you're talking about, blue jeans and pearls. Octopus myrrh? Am I saying it right? I don't know what octopus myrrh is. Sounds weird. Hey, Millie. Hey, Patricia. It's on Netflix? Huh. I'll have to look it up. Makes you wonder what else they're doing. Well, yeah, Chopper. I mean, this is happening to, this is not, and they said this is not lower level CIA, right? Because you have in the CIA, you're evaluated on your performance, um, how much information you get, all of that. And one of the women, hold on one second. One of the women family members, she was doing laundry, She was getting ready to put clothes in the dryer. There's a window, and it's this beaming pulse, and it busted her eardrums, and she had to have, I mean, real complications happen. She had to have steel, like metal plates put in her head, and she goes she runs to her bathroom, she projectile vomits, and she knew that something was wrong. This wasn't it's a and like the wave comes from one side of your face, right? One side of your face. And she goes to look outside, and she snapped a photo because her husband is high ranking. They always have to be careful, if they're constantly on foreign missions, all of that. So she takes a picture of this black Mercedes, and there's a guy in the car. And guess who that guy was? The same guy who they pulled over, I don't know, months back, that riding that um what is it? Mustang. So it's really, really bad. And that's the guy that they sent. He went back to Russia and died. So it's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy that these things are going on in our country. It goes on not only in our country, it goes on all around the world. And this is only happening, that we know of, to U.S. officials from all around the world on different missions, um, you know, trying to keep us safe. And it's only like the top 1 or 2%. The ones who have performed good, um, and got good information is what uh, the intelligence dude was telling us in that. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting. AI is not good. AI is going to be a double-edged sword, just like anything else. It's in its infancy right now. It's so brand new, and we can already do so much with it. Now, you can have a recording of me and or you, and it listens. It listens to how we speak, and you can make me say anything and make it sound like me. Now, at this point, I've seen other people do it online. At this point, it's not you kinda you're if you kn like, if you know it's AI, you can tell it's AI, but it still sounds lot like the person. Like, there's apps now where if you want, for instance, random person, Jennifer Lopez, Dolly Parton, anyone, to say, "Happy birthday, Justin." Well, there you go. Um, but it's gonna be so good in the future that you're not even gonna know if this is me, you know? It's I was watching some of the main people that no, it's not my birthday. I'm just saying, just saying. Uh, Going to bed. Good night, sweet dream, Justin. We'll be listening. Okay, cotton candy. Good to see you, babe. And but they said these top people in AI who pretty much created it said that AI is going to be more substantial for the world than electricity was. I mean, when electricity started, it changed everything, the industrial revolution. I just find these things fascinating. I can talk about it forever. Um, I look like a car wreck cooking for 12, Lord. Oh my God, you're cooking for 12 daily? No, thank you. Nope. No, I'm not cooking for 12. That's too much. I don't know. I really hope that there's going to have to be some sort of way where we can authenticate ourselves, right? And how do we do that? How do you know Justin must gave us an April Fool's? It's not his birthday. Well, okay, I kind of get. I mean, I was just I was using it as an example, but April Fool's. There you go. No, my birthday's in July. You know, so I don't know. Like, I don't know what. None of us knows what the future holds, really, right? Psychics say they do, but do they? July, Julia. I'm a Cancer. Probably say we have to have chips to authenticate ourselves. Well, I'm not getting a chip. I'll just have to be unauthentic, I guess, because you're not putting a chip in me. You're not putting a chip in me, right? I guess they want us. Yep. Cassie, you said the same thing. Not getting a chip. Like our cell phones. I was thinking about that. We're on our cell phones all the time. We never leave it without us. And guess what it has? It has a chip in it, and it's on in our hand, right? It's in our hand. And what now? We have like these, I don't know what they are. They're things you put on your head, and you play the games and all that. Uh Those things have chips in them, right? It's scary. It's like little by little by little, you know, it takes over, I guess. Mm-mm. Oh, yeah, we're tracked constantly. Absolutely constantly. I mean, like talking about Chris and Katie, the virtual glasses, yeah, virtual reality thing. Yeah. Chopper, by the way, that was well, it was one of my nicknames growing up as a kid. Chopper. So when I see that, it makes me giggle. Um, I don't know. Oh, but like Chris and Katie. Justin test cell phone. Oh my god. What do you mean test cell phone? Like there has to be some evidence of them, in my opinion, Chris being at places where he says he wasn't. I mean, they've got satellites recording us and all that. I'm Chopper because I'm a cook. Oh, gotcha. I don't know why they called me Chopper. I have no idea. I never asked. It's good interest. That's interesting. I need to ask. My other nicknames were J1 and J Bird. Um, bank statements, GPS on almost all technology, satellite, etc. There's no way there's not something out there. I agree. I mean, yeah, there has to be something of Chris out there. I mean, if it's not a highway camera, right? Cell phone, a car. I'm thinking that there was some other vehicle involved. And the thing is, in my opinion, I think Chris's family will do whatever it takes to help him in a pinch, allegedly, in my opinion. I'm called Skeeter, Mosquito, because Ginger. So, I mean, but then there's satellite recordings and stuff, but they never do that for crime at this point. Like they really never do that for crime. And because it is such a top secret. Remember when what is the MH flight? Damn it, I can't think. I watch the thing all the time. MH flight something when was is about it was in 2014. 2014. 370, thank you. Whenever that happened, I know the US government gave them a little bit, but they wouldn't give them much because it's such a sensitive technology. My daughter have Life 360. I told my grandkids I'm glad they didn't have that in my time. Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. Hey, Green Eyed. Michelle. Hello, hey off. I don't know. But I really feel like Chris's family comes from a family of means. Now, Katie doesn't have the support system as much from her family, right? She doesn't have her family, I guess, is in Virginia or wherever the hell they are. But her family really, or sorry, Chris's family seemed to really like her when I've heard that they didn't like some of the past wives. That's what I've heard too, that they were getting in an RV traveling to Alaska or something, but I'm not sure. Hey, folks, about an hour ago, a channel all kinds of crap about channel name is Starkey Farmstead. She said she lives in Louisiana. Title investigating JLR investigates. Guys, I'm guessing Virginia Beach or somewhere around there because that's where around Dolly lives. It's going to get guys. I I'm worried. Like those, like that search team, and then JLR. They're both pretty high strung. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a negative way or anything, but they're both. I don't know what the word is, but they're both. Yeah, and you know, this is probably between the two of them is going to end up in court. Oh, they flew? Okay. I don't know. You would think they would be there to help, but who knows? Not the RV, but the flyers all around the RV park have been removed. Gotcha. He could still have been moving to the van potentially, so I'm thinking Katie's car is in the garage. He he is. He is. I mean, I've worked with JLR in the past. I mean, he's always been good and fair to me. I know people feel differently about him. I try to give everyone a chance. That's just what I try. And the thing about it is, I don't believe everyone should be held um, hostage, if you will, for something that they did years ago, and they paid their debt to society. And he is doing really good, and he has been doing good for so many years. So, you know, now if he would change, then that's another thing. But he's just been he's doing I mean, you he works his ass off. He works his ass off. If I was, a single male, had nothing to tie me down, I would be just like JLR as far as being everywhere. I would That's exactly what I would do. You couldn't keep me, in one spot. But, I can't do that in my life now. So, absolutely. Everyone has their issues, everyone has their downfalls and stuff, but you know what? He paid his debt to society. He changed because he's clearly not doing anything like that now. Um, It doesn't mean one has to still like him, but I don't think they should judge him based upon, his past when he paid that debt, um, and changed. You know, he did wrong at a time, and it's what are you gonna do? You shouldn't crucify someone for the rest of their life, right? So, oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you. I try to be fair. I mean, we're all biased in a sense, um, but I try not to be like, there's creators that I talk to that, you know, they don't get along with another creator, and sometimes people get mad because they'll see you in chat or something in another chat, but you know what? I go where I go. I do what I do. I'm not going to be disrespectful to someone because they don't like them. I like you, and that's that. So, thank you, Daily. You're very kind. Didn't know until tonight that Katie has never talked to Seth about Sebastian missing, just at the TBI meeting. But that was a conversation. Well, I knew that um, Katie had not spoken to Seth in 2 weeks prior to at least 2 weeks. So she may have not spoken to him really at all until the first time she called. It seems like she's um I think it would be very hard if this was the father of your children, you know, you were once together, you have a child together, you know each other real well. And I think it would be hard for Katie to look at Seth in the eye and bullshit him. You know what I mean? It's hard to bullshit someone you know really well. You're not gonna look him in the eye, which she doesn't look anybody in the eye for that matter. But yeah, Chris does all the talking pretty much. Pretty much. And there's other creators on here that um are like innocent until proven guilty, innocent until proven guilty. I'm like, I'm not convicting them. It's not my job to convict anyway. I'm not a judge, I'm not a jury. But I will tell you what my opinion is when stuff's not matching up, right? Look at this. It's not matching up, right? There's a lot of stuff in this case not matching up. Oh, it's raining there? Chris wanted Seth and Katie to do an interview all together. Seth said no. Oh, I don't blame him. Um, in my opinion, and I don't blame Seth because I think Chris wanted it to look like because more people are obviously um, more kind to Seth. We know that he was, in or at work, and he wanted it to look like, you know, we're innocent too, as a more of a unity thing. And you know, you know what you do? You know what you do, Chris, Katie? You know what you do? Go out and look for your kids. Be open. Stop bullshitting people. So, but yeah, I'm not here to convict anybody or anything, but I will tell my opinion on if it's not matching up. People's like, well, you're convicting them, you're judging them. Well, common sense. You find information, you learn information that, uh, for instance, there was no lights on, right? And then they said, Katie's like, well, there's no lights on. We just got little lights on outside. And Chris is like, oh, no, we've got two lights on out in the garage. Oh, yeah, I forgot about those. Right? He walked out without shoes. That's information that is coming from their lips. As human beings, we instantly make a judgment. Huh, why would somebody go without shoes? A kid, special needs, would go out without shoes. Oh, what's the temperature outside? Oh, it's 26 degrees. Why would he do that? Did you guys have a fight? No. We had a great day, had a great weekend. Just went out to dinner. Oh, did you hear anything? Yeah, heard a thud. Did you check? No, didn't check. Oh, you know what I mean? It's really simple. I like Joe. He's a go-getter, honest, and yeah, yeah. I mean, uh, we all mess up from time to time in our lives. We all, at different degrees, of course, is messing up. But you know, so I just, Chris and Katie, in my opinion, are lying like a rug. There's just really, I mean, there's just too many what I call checkpoints. In You can have some checkpoints that, okay, it can happen, right? But then after so many of them, the road takes another turn. Yeah, yeah. Did he take a jacket? No. He didn't take his shoes? No. Why wouldn't he take his shoes? Where was his shoes? They were beside the door. Oh, okay. Is there any footprints? Shoe prints? No. Okay. Did the dogs hit anywhere? They hit on the pond, he says. Well, no, they didn't, we learn. Come on. Does anyone think he was taken to Alaska? No. Mm-mm. No. In my opinion, that's not even, in my opinion, it's just not even a factor. I don't think he's in Alaska. Mm-mm. But what I do feel, I do a lot of these cases, and what I do feel like is Chris, what, and I agree with him. I absolutely agree with Chris when he says this. Whatever he does big. He does it right. He does it extreme as he can do it. Right. He's a type of the person, as we say in the South, poop or get off the pot. And wherever, in my opinion, Sebastian is, he's hidden well, very well, very well. And I mean, listen, in every single crime, there's a mistake. Every single crime. There is no such thing as a perfect crime per se. It's just finding where they messed up. You gotta find where they messed up. It can be the simplest, most basic, silly, crazy thing, right? That can absolutely prove that they are lying, that something is wrong here. You go back to, I always use this for example. There was a crime, and now we use it all the time, but this guy said he never was in this certain area of the country. Never was in this area of the country, especially during the time this specific person went missing. Police didn't buy it. They didn't buy it. This is before we had a bunch of satellites, well, people had satellites in the car, but not everybody. It wasn't a big thing then. And they take his car in and analyze it. And they find a grasshopper in his grill, right? And certain plants in his grill of his car and in his car, underneath of his car. Well, it just so happens that specific grasshopper only lives in a certain part of the United States. That plant only grows in a certain part of the United States. That's how they busted him, right? Each area has its unique features. And that's what it takes. It takes that one thing that can be such a small thing. And listen, people who talk, yeah, forensic files, yes. People who talk will eventually always tell a very probably insignificant at the time piece of information. And then they'll talk again later. And there's that information, right? It doesn't jive together because what they are doing in the moment of that interview, they just want to get past the question. They just are in the moment and they want to get that question answered so they can fix that anxiety of, okay, questions answered. Okay, as long as I got it answered, that's all that matters, right? And they were okay with that answer. But it haunts them later. It absolutely haunts them later. The best thing a person can do if you are guilty or innocent, really, but especially guilty, shut up. Honestly. But most people can't do that. Most guilty people can't do that. And that is why they hop on and they feel like they have to prove themselves. Don and Candace did this forever. And there's nothing in my mind that will ever make me believe, unless authorities say otherwise, that Don and Candace are not guilty. I absolutely think Don and Candace are guilty, at least one of them. And that goes with Grandis as well. They want you to believe them. So they talk a lot. Most innocent people, in my opinion, they know they're innocent. I don't give a shit what someone thinks about me. I'm innocent. I just want to find my kid. Guilty people talk a lot and they say extra. Can you have my email? Of course. Beautiful sunflower. Or you can text me as well. Don't call in. That's for my other program, but that's my number there if you want to text me. Just tell me who you are. If you don't tell me who you are, I'm not going to answer back. People text me all the time and they're like, this. I'm like, I don't know who you are. I'm not texting you back. Sorry. So you're not seeing who it is. Um, and I hate to say, who is this? Tell me who you are and I'll answer you. You don't tell me who you are off the beginning. I'm not going to answer. Um, I do too, Lake Erie. I do too. Um, there was, we had quite a bit in my live today with both channels. There was about close to 3,000 people together in both channels. And, a woman, she super chatted me twice and she thought she was not very kind to Seth. And I can't say she wasn't kind. Maybe, yeah, she said some unkind things. She wasn't, but she said something about pizza or something like that. And I don't know. I guess Seth said something about pizza. Someone in chat said he said something about pizza on Josh's. Um, the other, I didn't even get it, but oh, and Cassie, it's for me. It's not even a question if Seth is innocent. He's innocent. He was at work. It's that. It's really that. Right. This man moved to Tennessee close to his son, to be with his son. Yeah, I heard it. I heard it. Oh, hold on. Let me check real quick. Oh, that's interesting. God, Sunflower. Look at his picture. He's a scary fuck. He's scary looking. Forgive me, Lord, but how far is Lewisburg, Tennessee? 8 cameras, 68 inmates, 4 bosses. No, he didn't do anything to Sebastian. That's exactly right. Hold on, I need to check something. Let's sleuthing here. That's an hour and 8 minutes. It's doable. How can I confirm the cash that Seth gave will actually go to him? He said someone is letting him use theirs. I didn't hear that part, Evo Alaska. That's a good question. I mean, I sent him money. I actually sent him money today. Now, on his Cash App, I have his Cash App. I don't even know if he hearted it or not. Let me check. So, TMB Fleming. View profile. Let me look at his profile. I don't know. I'll check that out. I didn't hear that. I did not hear that, to be honest with you. I'll turn my camera back on in just 1 second. I'm scared of all the scammers are going to be in full force like summer whales. Yeah, I think that's his sister, to be honest with you, but I agree. I mean, I sent money, but I would agree. It's very simple. I believe Cash App in her name too. It's very simple to make a Cash App, right? He needs to make um okay, Fusion things. It's very simple to make a Cash App, so I'll ask him about that. I think he's gonna hopefully come on the program uh Tuesday. He said something about Cash App one lap tonight. Okay. Someone was helping him, I'm assuming maybe. Okay. Well, the Cash App is for his bills and stuff like that. Yeah, now, yes, like the reward fund and all of that, it is done through an attorney. So it's absolutely legit. I mean, I think it's all legit. Let me make that clear. Uh, he said on Josh's tonight that he will be seeing an attorney tomorrow to oversee it so that everyone knows it's going to be in the right place. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Martha. Yeah, I mean, I don't question Seth at all. Um, but I think I'm just saying that it would be better, in my opinion, if he just had the Cash App in his name. Heard flyers were being taken down in Mississippi. Well, you know, I don't know. I don't know if flyers were being taken down. Wouldn't surprise me. But also, people, and I just want to be fair on this. Wind can blow them down. Other people can take them down uh, because of whatever reason. I used to work in a place, and there used to be where and it was like on a corner, and there was this pole, and people would always put yard sale signs up, and didn't think nothing of it. Well, one day, I don't know, some guy that worked for the state came in and he's like, "You need to tell people they cannot put these signs on an electric pole. It's against some type of regulations of some sort." And, you can be like I guess the business can be fined or whatever uh for it. And so anytime anyone would see him out there at the electric pole putting a yard sale sign up or whatever, someone would go out there and tell them, you can't do that. And people would get furious. Um, and I would, it's not, don't hate the messenger. Contacting the courthouse and DHHS in Juneau, Alaska tomorrow. There are no big stores there, just local, and all the private bush plane and airport. Hmm. Well, it depends on what. Do you mean Juneau, Alaska? Is it Juneau? Do you live in Alaska, Evo, Alaska? It's probably a stupid question, but I'm guessing you live in Alaska? Uh, yeah, she is a realtor. She's into real estate. Mhm. The lady had permission from the police to put up the flyers. Oh, did someone say did a specific person say, like, her flyers were being taken down? Well, Chris and Katie, they say that they were putting up flyers in Mississippi. Well, um, I can tell you that I have someone very, very close to the campground. I'll say that. That's how I was able to find them first. And when they went back, nobody knew where they were. And this person called me and she's like, "Look at your phone." And I was like, "Oh my God." But anyway, she has been all around there, all around there. She did not see one iota of a flyer. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Zip. Katie looks like this is the thing, and I might get a little shit for this. I don't know. But I believe Katie, I know people like, I know, in my opinion, she's hiding this. But I wholeheartedly believe Katie loves Sebastian. I do. And I know whatever happened is eating her up, in my opinion. It's eating her up. You can tell. Whether it was something of the heat of the moment, which in my opinion it was. I can't imagine being in that position where you have you're married to Lucifer, in my opinion, and you're having to have all of this weight on your shoulder of not getting caught. And then you have the loss of your child. That has to be literally hell. And I think Katie, in my opinion, has been numbing herself for a minute with whatever she can, right? Whether I mean, being married to, can you imagine being married to Chris? Seth said Katie was drinking while with him. I mean, she denies it, but look at her. There is that, in my opinion, and I get judged for it, I know, but there is that look of alcohol. No. She drinks to feel normal at this point, probably. Probably. And listen, addiction is a bitch. It's, you know, going through, if she is, which in my opinion, and just all of that, I mean, I agree, Sunflower. I agree. Mhm. Yeah. And the thing about alcohol, um, where was it coming? Where was it going? Where was it? I thought I saw. Um, it is Seth said tonight that Chris asked Seth to take Sebastian to live with him full time. Really? Guys, that's huge. 15, congratulations, Summer's Army. Congratulations. September will be 12 years for me. Um, some drinkers don't even remember what they did or said the night before. Alcohol has never been my, you know, thing, but it it is one of the most, like, I've never been so intoxicated that I don't remember. Now there's people that black out and they don't remember nothing, what they were doing or anything. Thank you, Lake Erie. But I really feel like, very similar in Summer's case, there was a perfect storm brewing. And it happened because of when, in my opinion, this is one of my theories, and it's probably my top theory, that CPS started that were investigating. They were in their investigating period, which is what they do. And while they are investigating, you have a 30, 60, or 90 day, depends. And while they are doing that investigating, if there is a claim against Chris, for instance, if it, for instance, a teacher called, Sebastian said, for instance, you know, he's not being nice or this or whatever. And it's very interesting how just a few days later, after that case opened up, Seth isn't gone. I think the March 5th court case, Chris was in a panic mode. And we know, based upon CPS cases, that when they are in that, it's a discovery phase that CPS does. The person the allegations are made against cannot live there. They cannot live there. And if they choose to live there, then the child is taken away. So most adults normally agree for the person, whether it's the mom, the dad, the brother, the aunt, the uncle, whoever's living there that the claim is made against, leaves. So the children are not taken. That's right. That's right. But during the discovery, they want to see if things clear up in that time, right? And I don't think Chris was supposed to be there, number one, in my opinion. I don't think he was supposed to come back and visit. And he's got this court case that he's thinking he's going to get his daughter back. He does not want, in my opinion, Sebastian around his daughter, number one. Now we're learning tonight, according to Seth, that Chris asked Seth to for Sebastian to go live with him. Whenever it's claimed that Chris didn't even want to take a picture with Sebastian, that's a problem. Big problem. That's another thing. What if what if Sebastian, there's this CPS case alleged going on, and then there's this case where he's trying to get his daughter. Well, if there's these claims, there's this investigation that's going on, and he's got these claims, or he's going to tell on Chris. Well, then, if disappearing is an option, it's an option for, in my opinion, Chris. In my opinion, allegedly. Seth said Chris and Katie were having issues and that Katie needed time to take care of herself. Robin, yes. So Seth has made that accusation, or that what he says, that they I think there was a pull for I think there was a pull for that Katie was like my husband or my kid. And, you know, maybe at a moment she chose the wrong thing. I don't know. We had a lot of failures in granddaughters, teachers, schools. Yeah. So we've done foster care for uh God, let me think. 7 years now. 7 years. And just the most unbelievable. Some of these things, these parents um subject. It's unbelievable. I don't think Chris has a snowball's chance in hell to get his daughter now. I, d- I think this, in my opinion, Theresa, this has went so far off the rails. To be honest with you, I don't even think he's even worried about that now. He's worried about staying out of prison, in my opinion, at this point. But I also think that Chris has ego, such a he will do anything as to get his daughter. And I believe he loves his daughter. I don't doubt that. But I believe he loves his ego more. And I think he would do anything to prove to Nina and to, in my opinion, hurt her anyway he can. And whatever that might be. So, was their van really towed today? Does anyone have proof to back that up? Thank you. Snickerdoodle. So, I heard it was towed a few days ago, but allegedly, I have not checked. I have heard that another YouTuber or TikToker, I don't know who it was, drove past there and the van was there at that point. That's the word, vindictive, yes. If the courts let Chris have her, we need to pick it up. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that's I don't think that is going to be I don't even think that was something that Nina had to or her child had to worry about anything before cuz Nina has had, faith since she was a baby. She would go visit Chris a couple times a year and there is Nina alleges that she saw that their daughter, Chris, and Nina's daughter saw Chris allegedly hit Sebastian. Yeah, I just don't think, Nina has it all. It seems she has it all together. I believe she's married now. She looks absolutely stable, and she looks like she is such a loving person. I was sobbing listening to that. Like, I knew that interview was coming out. Trevor did that interview, and he told Josh and I some things about that interview, and when he got home the next day, he said, "I'll be home tomorrow afternoon, and that's when I'm gonna put it out." And he told Josh and I a few things that Nina was saying in that interview, which you guys heard. And I knew this was going to just boom. And of course it was. But I knew three things that she said in that interview before like anyone else. But then when I watched it, it was it was just one thing after another, and my heart was broken for Nina because she is carrying legit PTSD, legit trauma. And LJ, yes, I bet it was, triggering for people who have been in similar situations with an ex, you know, in my opinion, a crazy ex, right? Who's had to go through similar, hopefully not as bad, maybe even worse. You may have been through things worse than her. I don't know your situation, but it was bad, man. Jacqueline, I'm not expecting to find myself live at this hour either, but I am. Here I am. Um, Nina really needs to get her tribal elders involved. Guarantee faith would be handled. Wouldn't be. Yeah, yeah. She won't. Mm-mm. No, not going to happen. Not going to happen. One second, y'all. Nina really needs to get. Yeah, I already read that. I'm on disability for CPSD for the same thing, and I broken. Wow. That's it's hard to live with a narcissist, right? I'll turn my camera on just a second. Chris reminds me of Drew Peterson. Katie, if you're listening, coming forward it is her best interest. It absolutely is. Chris is dangerous in my opinion, and you are going to end up worse than Nina. You're absolutely right, Robin. You are absolutely right. Um, the best thing Katie can do right now, if there is any type of foul play between anyone in that house. You going to bed, Julia? Good night if you're going to bed, Julia. um, is to come forward because the main thing law enforcement wants for you to most likely not spend the rest of your life in prison. Yeah, Donna, that's right. I mean, she just has Chris's family, and can you imagine? Right? I mean, I just can't. It'll take years for Katie to come forward. She is not that strong, and she is under huge influence. She does not have the family backing. You know what? You know what needs to happen? Wherever Katie's family is, if her mom and dad or sisters or whoever's still alive, they need to get their ass to Tennessee. Period. They need to, you know, her just, for instance, being in her mother's arms. I mean, Katie or whoever, that alone can be enough for her to talk. Too bad Sebastian isn't, has a parent that he just has his dad at this point, in my opinion. He just has Seth. 2009, I ran with my kids age 2, 4, 6 as far as I could in USA and disappeared 15 years off grid. Husband had Arsenal. Oh, wow. He married 20 years. He was 25 years Air Force. Wow. Oop, we'll move on. Uh, you know, it can be very, very difficult to, you know, some people who, have been in the military, you know, they come back with a lot of trauma and a lot of PTSD and all of that. And it can be very difficult to stay married. Justin, as I'll do, Katie's family would have already been on SM or news begging if they cared. Um, yes and no, right? I mean, I mean, I think they should be there. They don't have to do interviews or anything. They can be out putting out flyers or doing whatever. But right, yes, yeah, I did hear that. Um, doing interviews is not necessarily the only way, you know, for them to care. But my DV psych has been in practice for 13 years. My ex manipulated situations to suit himself and had no empathy whatsoever. Would play me off my dog through our dinner in the lake. Went through my phone. Wow. Could not imagine having to fight for my child with someone like that. Yeah, I mean it's a bad situation, y'all. Mother has a violent history with law allegedly. You know what? Tomorrow I'll look into her family If the Prophet family has connections with law enforcement, a safe house isn't always safe for some. That's correct, Donna. Brothers Underwater Recovery. Yes. We'll be there on Saturday to search. They also have land sniffing dogs. He was on uh Seth was on there earlier. I believe they're needing volunteers as well. Yeah, and I mean, to be honest with you, you know, uh, again, Katie's parents, family members she may not want anything to do with them, right? She may have left home at a very young age and went to the army, and that is what saved her from being like they were to begin with. It's what a lot of kids do. It saves them. Army saves them. Mm. I found out my ex was trying to force me into pregnancy to get a green card. Oh, wow. His mother admitted he had failed it. He wouldn't pay rent and nightmares for years. He was harassing me with his new girlfriend. That's crazy. Thought Katie, was a black belt. So Vic, I don't think she is actually, I mean, unless Seth said she was a black belt. So there is a pro fighter, and I showed this on my live, and her name is Katie Proudfoot. And I think people may have gotten that confused, meaning thinking that it was this Katie Proudfoot, but there is actually I think it's an MMA fighter that her name is Katie Proudfoot, but it's not this Katie Proudfoot. Unless Seth said she had a black belt, then I'm not, personally believing that. There is nothing, no military, no law enforcement, no nothing that would ever keep a willing mom from searching for a child. Period. Yeah. Um. I really think that these parents that don't search, they they I feel like they know where their child is, and they know, in my opinion, I'm not saying this just for Katie and Chris or whatever. I'm saying this in general but they know where their child is, and they know that it's just for them, it's just I you know, I don't want to say a waste of time, but they know where it is, and they know where their child is, and it's just them pretending even more, and it's physical exertion. Are they going to actually go out in the woods, in the forest, and search and waste physical energy of just going in an area knowing that their kid is not there? You get what I mean? Of course, Seth is looking because he doesn't know. He doesn't know where Sebastian is. That's the difference, in my opinion. I feel her hope at this point. She was a victim to Chris. She's said something, but we really don't know. But let me tell you, my daughter is 17 and she's autistic. And if she is missing, yeah, yeah. KP can't do black belt unless this is the color of Belt CP. Mm. So Justin, a fake it till you make it situation? No, it's a why would they go out searching when they already know where their child is, right? I mean, so it's like, you know where I'm trying to you know where Walmart is, right? You know how to get to your local Walmart. But others don't, right? They don't know where it is. So they're out roaming trying to find the Walmart, right? But you already know it where the Walmart is. You're not going to go out and roam around with them in the wilderness when you already know where Walmart is, if that makes sense. You're not going to waste that a fake energy, um the physical exertion. Fusion, Justin, I'll be up for days. I'm having stomach surgery bypass, so I will be out. Want to let you know. Oh, Fusions, we'll keep you in our prayers, honey. Um, are you're having like the sleeve or the bypass? Congratulations. It'll be worth it. It's a bitch at first, but it'll be worth it afterwards. I hate when someone hurts a child or does anything it blames. Yeah, yeah. I've never heard parents say their child's what they consider their downfalls or negative talk about their child in any negative light when their child is missing, as I have with Chris and Katie. Because, Justin, do you have a thought or theory on where Sebastian may be? Um, I think he is somewhere between what is it? I can't even think right now. Hendersonville to the campsite where I want to know why they keep going back. He didn't have work. If you was at my live earlier today, we talked in depth about that. Max wouldn't let me into my own kitchen, was restricting my diet. Wow, that's severe. Trace trail. Um, so this is the thing. Potentially, potentially, there's anything could have happened after they left that restaurant. Anything could have happened. Um, let's say this is planned by Chris and Katie. I actually don't think it was planned by Chris and Katie. I hope not. At least I really hope not. It's one thing for it's bad enough that it would be, what they call a crime of a heat of passion. Um, not that kind of passion, but of like a heat of anger, right? But it's another thing if it's planned. If it's planned, that is as evil as it gets. But let's think about this for a moment. 6:30, 7 o'clock is the physical last time that I'm aware of and that you're aware of that we know because of Seth saw his son on Sunday evening at the steakhouse in the parking lot. What happened after that? We have no idea. If this was planned, this could have been Katie met, I'm just theorizing here. I'm not saying this happened. I want to make this extremely clear. I'm not saying this happened. I'm just theorizing here. But if this was planned, it could be something to the effect of, Katie met Chris, and Chris says, come on, we're going to go do something. And Chris, you know, takes him somewhere, and that's that. And if this was planned, which I I don't think it was thoroughly planned. Dog picks up no scent. Well, he wouldn't have been at the house. He wouldn't have been at the house. But if it was planned, he will be much harder to find. Much harder to find. But why the daughter if he didn't want kids? Oh, he wanted to hurt Nina. That's what he wanted the most, in my opinion. It was about ego. What do you mean, Donna? I don't understand what you mean. Had made his child, then swept off in car. But if he made it to the house, if Sebastian and Katie made it to the house and something just, popped off to where something triggered Katie or Chris, if Chris was there, one of them, either or, then they don't have as much time to think. But even if something popped off, well, we have until approximately, let's say that they're home by 7:30, 8 o'clock maximum, because at 9 o'clock he's in bed. So that's being home an hour or so, and then going straight to bed. Talk about a shower, bath, anything. But let's say that they're home by 7:30, 8 o'clock. Well, if something happened to him shortly after Sebastian arriving, well, you have from 8 o'clock p.m. Anywhere from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock p.m. till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. But in my opinion, something happened before midnight. Something had to happen before midnight. if there is foul play. If there is foul play, something had to happen before midnight. Why? Well, because he would have absolutely have been in bed. Sebastian would have absolutely been in bed by midnight. It was a school night. If he was sleeping, right? If he would have went to bed at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, well, he would have been sleeping. There would be no reason for anyone to get triggered to hurt someone. You get me? If he's sleeping, Chris is not going to get triggered. Katie's not going to get triggered. Sweet tea after dark. Rebecca. You get what I'm saying? So I think something happened, in my opinion, something happened around the 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., 10:30 maximum time. 8 to 10, 8 to 10:30. And whatever happened between 8 to 10:30, they had from they could have started at 8, they could have started at 10:30, but from we'll say 9 p.m. to about 3 a.m., they had time, they had all night to clean up the mess, whatever happened. Even if there's not a mess, like a physical mess, there is a big circumstantial mess that you have to think of, that you have to dispose of about your story. I think so too, Jules. I think she heard a thud. Absolutely. I think she heard a thud. I think she's telling the truth. She did hear a thud. And I think Chris was probably in there talking to Sebastian the way he talks to him. Sebastian said, "You're never here. You're not supposed to be here. I'm going to tell on you." That triggered him. That triggered him. And that was it. Chris could not get in trouble because if he got in trouble, he's not getting his daughter, right? He's not getting his daughter. Chris, in my opinion, wanted Sebastian out. Tonight, Seth said that Chris asked for him to take Sebastian. So I think between, I would say 9 o'clock. I think 9 o'clock it happened. I think 9 o'clock was bedtime. And I think it happened probably right before bedtime. Because, sometimes kids don't want to go to bed. You're not going to tell me what to do. He's 15. You're not supposed to be here, Chris, anyways. I'm going to tell on you. She said that that was 10 p.m. But around there, that's what time it happened, in my opinion. And then it was, "Oh shit, look what you done to my son." But Chris wasn't supposed to be there. So this has to benefit Katie, in my opinion, in some way. Unless she is absolutely battered and brainwashed, which is possible. She could be scared to death because of Chris and his family. She's close with them. I think also Chris felt like Sebastian was ruining their relationship because allegedly there was rockiness between the two. And she said she needed time. Now, it could be CPS related, or it could be she just needed time to think. Well, Chris is making a big ass mortgage payment. Big ass mortgage payment. And Chris is the type of man, Tar, what you doing, baby? I need to make you, I'll make you guys mods here in a little bit when I get my phone. And Chris is making that, and he's the type of man, I'm paying these bills. You're going to listen to me under my roof. Period. I make the payments. Right? That's his style. Oh, domestic pinup. I think they both were. I think that's you woke up. Sorry, I haven't been to bed. And I do think that 3 o'clock or before, I kind of think, hold on. What time did Katie what time did Katie say that I'll turn my camera on just a second. What time did Katie say that her and Chris were talking on the phone? Was it 9 to midnight? Let me know. From 9 to midnight. So I think that it's possible that this could have happened fairly early in the afternoon, or in the evening rather. It could happen around 8, 8:30ish. And he was taken out very quickly, rather very quickly. And Chris and Katie talked on the phone for a long period, 3 hours, making their plan. And Katie, while Chris was doing whatever, these are just theories. I want to make that very clear. While Chris was doing whatever, then Katie was making sure everything in the house was good. Or just falls under the spectrum. Heather, he was diagnosed with autism just last year, which is very young. I mean, very old for, these days, in my opinion, because if he had that pocket in his brain or in his head, not in his brain, in his skull, maybe that's when they found out he was, diagnosed with autism. Just in that amount of time had to be pre-planned if Chris was at the house waiting. Perhaps, yes. Absolutely, LJ. I mean, a lot of people get bent for theories and all of that. I mean, as long as you're not taking the information and uh, going to somewhere else and saying that that is a fact, that's why I always try to be extraordinarily clear that we are just talking about theories, speculating about, what is possible during a timeline. Did you read Well at Pics? Mandy sent you of Chris's arm. They're amazing. Who sent them? When did they send them? This is what Chris said. It took him 3:37 to get from Mississippi to home. Um, I don't know what you're talking about the arms, but I don't believe two little 3-pound Yorkies did that. No way, no how, no turkey. Don't believe it. I don't think he took a bath. I don't think he took a bath. Hey, movie star. 3 hours, 37 minutes door to door. Well, I'm telling you, it's interesting. Now, I've got to believe Seth on this because he says law enforcement TBI showed him without a doubt that those are trash trucks. I did not. I was still skeptic, but Seth said that they made it without a shadow of a doubt. But if you look at 3 o'clock till 6:30, 6:20, I don't think they got there till 6:37. That is 3.5 hours. If he left the house at 3 a.m. to be back in uh, his fifth wheel, the campsite, that is 3.5 hours. Yeah. And listen, kids go through what I call a dirty phase where they don't want to take showers. Most kids do that. They don't want to take a shower. You have to hound them. Get in the shower, get in the bath. I don't care if you want a bath, you're getting it, right? You're getting a bath. You're getting a shower. Go to the bathroom. Get in the shower. Jump in the shower. You know, you're taking a shower before you're going to bed, especially boys. Absolutely. Especially boys. Yeah. Most kids go through this. Most kids go through this. But, it could have been something like that. You're not getting in you don't want to get in the shower. You're going to get in the shower, right? They start talking back, especially if they have sensory issues. They hate the skin being dry feeling. Really? I did not know that, Heather, because I mean, I have this thing where I have I don't know if they're considered phobias. Uh, but I cannot stand my hands to be dry. I cannot stand powder between my hands. It drives me insane. Cannot stand any powder, um, like any dryness in my hand. You need to see Crime Sleuth and News Nation did story. Jennifer Governor see concerns with Chris and Katie. Also phone call where United Cajun Navy says they know where Sebastian is but cannot get to. See, Cassie, I'm okay with everything you said there, but I don't believe United Cajun Navy knows where Sebastian is. I do not believe that. And I'll tell you why. Because if they knew where he was, they have to legally tell law enforcement. And if law enforcement has enough reasonable, articulable suspicion, they get a warrant, which, if it's on Mars, they're going to get a warrant and go there. And that's another thing they take the credit for as well. So I don't believe if anyone is saying that they know where Sebastian is, but they can't get to him, don't believe stuff like that, please. Anybody, I don't care who you are, don't believe stuff like that. But let me pull something up. Because Jennifer Coffindoffer, she's been telling it like it is on. She's been telling it like it is. 1 second. The audio version of episode 10, Break the Case with Jennifer Coffindoffer, have dropped on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. Oh, she's got a podcast now. Okay. As I mentioned, it will all come out. All of these parents heard. Sebastian Rogers, why haven't I posted them? Because the main point is Sebastian had no one to run to. No, not even his bio dad. I hope he ran from a bad environment and is found alive. His mom was the last one to see him, but was she? Question mark. We really don't know. Law enforcement knows. Law enforcement hasn't named any of the parents as point of interest. So let's hope he took off. I am so sad that Sebastian was hurt by those who should have loved him. How could anyone hurt a child with special needs? We need to ask all of ourselves. We need to ask all of these parents. So, shit, I'm muted. Did y'all hear me read that thing? How long have I been muted? How long have I been muted? Did you hear me read? I've been talking the whole fucking time. Uh, did you hear me read what Jennifer Coffendoffer said? Okay, I always mute. Um, but it has to be some sort of guilt for Seth. Why didn't Sebastian tell me? Or, I knew Seth was an asshole. I didn't know how big of an asshole he was. Um, there has to be some sort of guilt. And but Seth says also that Sebastian would not talk to him. He could have been. Yes, I still have the same email, Heather. Yeah. All justice, the number 4, the letter U at Gmail. So I feel like Sebastian was probably too scared to tell his dad. I mean, for heaven's sakes, even Katie may be too scared. So there's that. Um I am hoping that law enforcement will do what law enforcement did in the Caleb Harris case he attached. Listen, we are going to be talking about Caleb Harris now today, this evening. You want to talk about something baffling, y'all? This is a case out of Corpus Christi, Texas. And I actually think I have a connection that I can probably get in touch with his parents. Um, they're such loving, good people. It is a Caleb Harris is a baffling case. He's seen 1 second and then he's gone. Yeah, half pint. Um, I don't know anything about. I haven't even heard. I don't think. How do you pronounce it? Timontes. Hunt. I haven't even heard of that case. But I think I talked about Caleb Harris once. But with Caleb's case, like, I don't even know. I'm going to talk about it for exposure, but I don't even know where to begin. Like, I'm going to talk about it, but there's just nothing. Does Caleb? No, he's perfect, healthy, college young man. Just got a puppy the same day he was letting his dog out. Seen walking his dog. And then he's not. He's gone. Gone. And let me tell you something. That agency, the police agency, is the best, one of the best police agencies that I have ever seen. They are on top of it and they let the public know. We have done this many search warrants. We have checked this. We have done that. We have checked this, done that. And there is nothing. He got Uber Eats. They checked the Uber driver. There has to be something out there. Check out. Yeah. Yeah, Caleb's an adult. In my opinion, Caleb was mistaken for someone else. Whatever happened quick. And they have everyone around him. Uber was cleared. Yep. Roommates cleared. Everyone around him, every single person around him has been more than willing to help, to interview, to answer questions. There's nothing. It's been over a month. A timeline would help searchers. Clarification regarding the points of interest. But yeah, I was planning on talking about Caleb Harris today. All right, guys, I'm going to bed. Y'all need to go to bed too. I'm going to be up at 9. It's 4:30. I'm going to be at bed at 5. I'll be asleep by 5, hopefully. And I'll be up at 9. So y'all get some rest. Get some rest. It's 1:30 here. Ugh. It's 4:30 here. Is Corpus Christi a camera everywhere? How is there nothing? Yeah, cameras are everywhere in Corpus. I've been to Corpus. His parents go to a place that one of my family members go to. So I'll just say that. So I'm gonna talk to my aunt about it. So yes, Brittany, we go in a couple hours. I saw uh the sign. It says it's like a picture of this old woman, and she has no teeth, and like her gums or chin is up to her nose and stuff. And she's like, "Who says being a content creator makes you old? I'm 22 and I feel great." I died. Oh my god, can't sleep. Brittany can't spell. Well, she's exhausted. That's why she's exhausted. I'm going to bed. All right, guys. Love you long time. I'll see you later. Good night. It is. God bless. Thank you for joining me.